What's up, Pokemon trainers, Pokemon breeders, and Pokemon masters alike? It is Griever back here once again to bring you guys the leg 5 of our Generation Lock Challenge. Now, for those of you who don't know what a Generation Lock is, right over here, our Generation Lock is pretty much summarized right here, and it's been summarized in every video, but suffice it to say, it's a Nuzlocke. It's a super Nuzlocke. It's a grandiose Nuzlocke. It's the Nuzlocke to end all Nuzlocke. It's maximum over Nuzlocke is what it is. You do subsequent Nuzlocks back to back to back to back until you basically clear all the main generation games or whatever stopping point you have deemed appropriate. And you try to use the same Pokemon and the same team throughout, with a bit of a reward system, which once again we will get into in a minute. But suffice to say, yeah, we have successfully managed to beat 4 Nuzlockes in a row from Gen 1, 2, 3, and now 4, and we're starting Gen 5 with Pokemon Black. Now, as you guys can see from the missing space, we did end up losing, unfortunately, one of our main staples, one of our main Pokemon, Dragoon, from our lineup. So now we do need to find a replacement Pokemon starting off, and that's sort of a new concept, right? We haven't had to do that basically the entire run so far. You know, we've always won with the Hall of Fame team. We haven't lost anybody while in the Elite Four, and this time we did. So it's a big change. It's a big switch up. So without further ado, that being said, let's just get underway. We will discuss the reward system nonetheless, and then we will start playing the 5th leg of Pokemon Black. Now for the rewards. Normally we have successfully won our extra 2 bonus points for sweeping the Elite Four in each leg and gotten multiple points to spend on our current team. However, not so much last time. Unfortunately, Sceptile was deceived by a Garchomp's Giga Impact, and now we are unfortunately down a member. Not only that, but we don't get our 2 bonus points to spend. But Nidoking definitely is... Sheer Force is so useful for a very versatile Nidoking, especially in a Nuzlocke. You want, at the very least, if you don't obtain a normal type Pokemon, somebody like a Clefable, a Snorlax, something that can utilize multiple different elemental attacks and stuff like that, right? You want to grab somebody like that, and Nidoking fits the bill, especially with Sheer Force, right? So, even though I misspoke a couple of times during the pro run, believing that hidden abilities were available back then and I had added it, I clearly hadn't, because hidden abilities weren't added here until Generation 5. And we are immediately our 1 point to spend, right? I mean, we already have plenty of stats and moves on our Rhyhorn, on Swablu, Pikachu, Charmander. Like, everybody's already got... Everyone on the team has already gained a bonus. It's not like I'm picking favorites here. So, but who's going to utilize this the most going in here to Gen 5? And I thought that Sheer Force would definitely be a force, pun intended, to reckon with going forward. So I picked that as our 1 point to spend. Maybe I could have picked an egg move or something for somebody, but when I boiled it all down, I did my research, and this is what I came up with. So now, let's just get going forward with our Pokemon Black playthrough for our GenLocke. Alrighty then, so we're starting off our Pokemon Black playthrough. Looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it. The volume was a little loud there, but I believe I cracked all the audio. I've corrected the audio before. Sometimes it doesn't work out so well, but this time I'm pretty sure it has. So... do we watch the whole intro segment with N, with the sages and stuff? Which, once again, I've never actually played Black 2 and White 2. I can admit that. I've never actually played Black 2 or White 2. And apparently you battle all the sages then and stuff like that. But the fact that they were brought up in this game, there's the 7 sages and all this stuff, and N's the leader and all. You know, you would think it's almost like battling 7 bosses, or the 6 sages, 7 sages, whoever they are. You would think that it would encompass a whole idea of battling them. The fact that in the main games they brought up this concept, but then we never battled a single one legit. It just, what? And this is where the moving sprites came in. Once again, Gen 5 definitely has a far better Pokedex, to me at least, than Gen 4 did. I feel like Gen 5 sort of went back to the roots of what a generation, like, what a good Pokedex looks like. You know, Johto was kind of hit and miss, like, line to line. Hoenn definitely was a very original, back to some Kanto roots. We already know my feelings on the Sinnoh Dex. It's fucking absolute terribly. It's not the worst thing ever to happen to Pokemon, but it's not very good. It's certainly not very good, and it's unbalanced as hell. Unless you like Infernape or Ponyta, have fun with Sinnoh. But that being said, this generation, Gen 5, brought it all back. It brought back multiple types, even though move pools suck and stuff. There's so many cool designs. So many cool designs, so many cool Pokemon in this particular gen. So Gen 5 definitely had a lot going for it. Like, it has problems, but Gen 5 definitely fixed some of the issues that I personally had with Gen 4. They were fixed here in Gen 5. That being said, they were so heavy on the animation. Like, animated sprites sound good in theory and all this stuff, but basically, this game, at this point, it needed to be on the GameCube. At this point, you know, I think this was around the time of the GameCube Wii era. So, at this point, we knew that Pokemon needed to... We've already seen Pokemon Stadium and stuff before with, you know, and I grew up with that in the N64. But by the time of the GameCube, which we had Gale of Darkness and Coliseum and stuff like that, we needed a mainline Pokemon game by around the end of the GameCube era, like Twilight Princess, you know, era, into the Wii era. We needed the main games to move off of the handhelds. We just needed that to happen. And they adamantly refused to do it. They just did. They adamantly refused to make that happen, right? So, but you can tell here they're trying. They are pushing the limitations of the DS at the time and stuff to make this as animated, as 3D as possible. But it's like, no, why don't we just go full on 3D? Let's just jump to console. Let's jump to console, right? The whole, and here's what bothers me the most is that one of the biggest arguments was the whole idea of pocket monsters and you gotta catch them all and all this stuff, right? The taglines were trade with your friends on the go, gotta catch them all, and, you know, in your pocket monsters. By the time the Switch came out, you can take it with you. You can meet up with friends, but now you no longer can catch them all. So, when we look at it back in retrospect, their argument fell very flat coming forward. And yeah, I'm just bullshitting my way through this until we actually get to the, you know, the real deal. We got Snivy here. I forget what our ID number is, but it must be between 1 and 3. Because I probably would have picked... I probably wouldn't have picked Snivy if I got a 0. I mean, I might have. We are definitely lacking a grass type, so I guess that sort of makes sense. But we're also lacking in a solid water type, though Nidoking can learn surf and stuff. So, I don't know why if I would actually pick Snivy, so I'm assuming that that was the ID thing. Maybe I showed it, but I'm ranting right now. I'm immediately starting off this one with the rant. Got to rant about the generation and how this came about, right? Yeah, because I was teenager, adult. Was I in high school or out of high school? Definitely past my high school, but I might have been 17, 18, 19. I forget when these games came out, but I remember planning it on Cerebi. On the Cerebi site, I remember going through and like finding the new release pictures and being like, oh man, I can't wait to build my team with this, 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 and this, you know. I wanted a Sawsbuck, I wanted the, I wanted a Bravery, I wanted, like, there were so many cool Pokemon to me, right? So, and now we fight against Sharon. I like the idea, this is where the first idea of multiple rivals with different goals and different paths sort of started, and Generation 5 is great for doing this, though I think Gen Gen 6 did it perfectly in my opinion. Gen 5 definitely started it, and what a great way to start. Because Bianca and Sharon are two very different characters, and they're very different from your characters. So, for certain things that the game got wrong, like the whole Adeno training, you gotta Adeno train, you know? For the most part, you basically have to. Even I had to do, if I recall correctly, I had to do quite a bit of Adeno training, or I didn't specifically do Adeno training, but I certainly looked for those shaking patches of grass, and whenever I was grinding between takes and stuff like that, I certainly was, you know, running around in the grass that an Adeno could pop out, because it's almost required to win. And in all honesty, I find that a bit of an issue. I really do. Little glitchy there, but what have you. And now we're apologizing to Mom and stuff. Of course, this is just the intro stuff of the game, you know. So, as I said, we got Snivy and all that stuff. I don't think we nickname him, actually, because I think I screwed that up by hacking in all of our actual Hall of Famers here. So. And here we go. Which, once again, they are definitely solid Hall of Famers. That's for damn sure. You know, they've won. Some of them have won 4 different leagues, right? So some of these guys are actually 4-star veterans, which is incredibly impressive, right? Which is something I haven't added here. I've got to do some major editing actually when I do this one, because suffice to say, I didn't spend the time or energy to figure out how to crop a recorded video segment, so I actually am going to have to pause and edit instead of doing it in the video maker and making it a smooth transition. I'm going to have to pause and edit every single time somebody down here evolves or the graveyard changes or what have you. You know, I have to do that manually as I record every time for proper timing purposes, and then I'm going to have to edit it later in the video editor, because I tried but I couldn't be bothered to figure out how to record the moving sprites on the screen and overlay images and underlay images at the same time. So it became a bit of a pain in the ass to do. I could have done it in the video editor, I guess, at this point, but you know, I can make this work at the very least. So we finally get to the professor's lab. Basically says the same thing all the professors do. Love your Pokemon, here you go, brand new starter, have fun, journey out there, and have a good old goddamn time, right? And that's fair. Yeah, so when I want to nickname the Snivy, I did this too soon, and now all of a sudden I have to name Ancalagon again. So I have to rename Ancalagon the Black as Ancalagon the Black, because I had traded out the Snivy, or I don't think I traded out the Snivy, but Snivy's not really part of our team, so we're going to leave that Pokeball down here. We're going to leave that blank for now, because I have no intention of using a Superior unless the worst should happen. I have no intention of using a Snivy. I never liked that. I don't like any of the, in all honesty, maybe Emboar, but I don't really care for any of the starters in Gen 5. As many of the Pokemon that I like in Gen 5, I don't like any of the starters. I don't like any of the grass line. I don't like any of the water line. And I mean, maybe the Swammert or whatever it's called, the final of the water, maybe. And same with Emboar a little bit, but I don't like the pig. I don't like, yeah. I'm just not a fan of the Gen 5 starters at all. I think they're the weakest starters. Yeah, they're definitely the weakest. It's either them or Gen 4. Weakest starters that I've seen. That being said, I haven't played Sword and Shield. And actually, Sun and Moon starters. No, they have that awesome ass owl. Never mind. That just sweeps everything. Decidui, or whatever it's called, yeah. So. But yeah, as I said, we're still just going through the main, you know, we're just starting up. I know, I'm like, I want to get pumped. I want to see some stuff happen, but we gotta wait. We just gotta wait like everybody else. And it's a Lillipup. A Lillipup. Lillipup is our first, and there comes Ancalagon the Black, looking as dapper as ever. As dapper as ever. Jumping in all his shiny gloriness. And scratch attack, boom. We want to catch this thing. Because actually, as I said, without a Dino training, some of these gyms can be quite hard. They're certainly not that easy. And I don't know if that's just my video feed doing that or if it's the recording, but I'm having a little bit of difficulty with the video feed. Hopefully it doesn't screw up in the main recording. So here we go. I used a Pokeball, and boom! We caught ourselves Lillipup. Lillipup was caught. Now once again, as we name this Lillipup for the first time, quick shout out to Raticate, Mankey, Golduck, and Sceptile in our graveyard. Definitely hard losses there. 100%. If I recall correctly, they were named so forth. And I call Lillipup Ferg after my dad's friend, actually, because he's got one of those little shit dogs, you know, that doesn't grow beyond a Lillipup size, and it's like that's more of a cat than a dog, but whatever. And N, one of the greatest additions added post Gen 3 to Pokemon, period. The character of N is just awesome. Is so damn cool. I love N. I love his theme. I love his characterization. I like him in the anime. I like him in the games. I like him. I love him. N is awesome. But yeah, so quick shout out for, I believe we named Eradicate Luke. And Luke was awesome for the limited time we had him. Apollo, of course. And with the unfortunate passing of Carl Weathers. Ah, man. That makes this that much harder. Like, I couldn't even keep the, you know, the Mankey Apollo alive, you know? Like, goddamn. So, poor Apollo, and shout out to, you know, once again, Carl Weathers. Awesome. I grew up with Carl Weathers and stuff like that, you know, Rocky and Predator and all that stuff, and Carl Weathers is so cool to me. And he was great in The Mandalorian. Like, I never saw a bad role with Carl Weathers, any of the movies I've seen. I haven't seen them all, but yeah. Carl Weathers was great, so quick shout out to him. Dying a little too young, 76. Sounds old, but it's really not. If you a guy in such great shape for like 4 or 5 decades, like he was, I don't know. And then shout out to Wildwing, of course, our Golduck, who was our Rock, our MVP for like 2 games in a row. He was awesome. And then Dragoon. Leaf Blade MVP move of this entire GenLocke. Leaf Blade was broken, stronger than Hyper Beam, better than Giga Impact, but could not defensively defeat a Giga Impact, and Dragoon is now no longer with us. Unfortunately, considering he's probably my favorite grass starter. Like, just across all of them. If it's him or Venusaur, but I'm pretty sure it's Sceptile. I got Sceptile, then Venusaur. Then it's probably Megumi, Bayleaf's evolution. Yeah, we're quickly cleaning up N, like there was any doubt. So we do defeat N. Yeah, how would I rank them? Decidueye is pretty cool too. Torterra is pretty cool, even though I don't care for Gen 4 that much. I think Infernape needed a better design, in all honesty. Alright, so now we're on to, now that we've caught a Lillipup and we've defeated N for the first time, now we have a Patrat. And we have our Swablu Shion there, who clearly hasn't gained a single goddamn level. And this is why. Swablu is so goddamn hard to raise. Listen, Altaria might be a good Pokemon. We have a Calm Nature. on the Swablu. So it's high special defensive and all that stuff. Like, it's a very good defensive wall if EV trained to shit, and as is an Altaria. But if not, I'm sorry, the Swablu is becoming, like, dragons are, as Lance said back in the day, back in red, green, blue, and yellow, dragons are hard to train and master, but once you do, they are incredibly destructive and powerful, or whatever he said. Basically said, like, they're indestructible, they're unbeatable, they're the best, you know, they're invincible, they're might, they're powerful, they can't be ignored. They are hard to catch and raise. I remember him saying that for years. I remember him saying that, and yeah. Yeah. But it's also the fact that this thing's so weak. Like, I feel like most dragons, like a Bagon or a Dratini, would fare far better. Is it because it's a two-stager? Is that the reason that, like, its first stage has to be so shitty? Like, Swablu's pretty much the equivalent of a baby Pokemon at this point. It's a baby Pokemon in stats because it doesn't even carry the dragon typing. So it's just so difficult to raise. It's honestly such a pain in the ass. But we can't deny Altaria's effectiveness, generally speaking. So we call Patrat. What do we call Patrat? What? Watcher. Oh, because Watchog, so we call him Watcher. Watcher? Yeah, just call her Watcher. And then Bianca shows up. Okay, so we're going to battle our rival. We're going to battle Bianca, I'm assuming, right here, right now. Yep, let's have a Pokemon battle. Let's go, Bianca. What do you got? What do you got? And as I said, we're not replacing the 6th slot until we actually get a Pokemon viable for the 6th slot, right? Like, we could be... Maybe we brought Lillipup with us, or Snivy's part of the party or whatever, but we're not utilizing them. Yeah, see, we have a full party of 6, but not truly. Not really. We're not raising a party of 6 yet. We're raising a party of 5 so far. 100%. Okay, so we're trying. We're trying. Doing some damage, okay. Keeps lowering our defense. So as we keep hitting Peck, we might actually get a W here. A tackle. Oh. A little bit more defensive. Of course, went for the potion. We nearly had a kill with Xion. We might still get one. Let's see. Oh, down to half. There we go. Going for the Leer. See what happens. And boom. Ah, not quite. Please don't use another potion. Okay, the Leer happens. We'll definitely switch out, but it'd be huge to get trainer experience with Swablu because it takes so much more. It takes like double or triple the amount of experience at these levels than anybody else on the team, even like Rhyhorn. Like, Rhyhorn has less experience required than Swablu, for Christ's sakes. It's just... And it would be fine if, like Rhyhorn, Swablu was a second tier Pokemon. But Swablu is more the equivalent of a starter slash baby. Like, Swablu is on the tier of a Pichu or a Magby. It's not a Magmar or an Electabuzz. So the fact that it's so weak, it's half the time it just doesn't feel worth it. I'm gonna rag on Swablu this whole time. Meanwhile, Swablu will survive to the next one. You guaranteed. Guaranteed. And I'll have to go through all this again in X and Y, and I'll have to go through all of it again after that. Because Altaria's viability can't be denied. Outside of a Garchomp. Outside of not switching into a Garchomp. Outside of that, we're good. So we do beat up on Bianca. No big losses there. We don't find anything else, and now we're going up against Sharon, our other rival, our second rival. Well, actually, our first rival. Bianca's more of our secondary rival. So here we go. 2 Pokemon up, and starts off with the starter. Starting with the starter. Let's go. Okay. And we're still going in with Swablu to start. I mean, even if we have to switch out, experience is experience, right? That being said, that's supposed to be super effective, by the way. Just so we're clear, the Tepig, I don't care that Tepig is a starter. It's stronger with a neutral attack to a defensive Pokemon then a super effective hit from that same Pokemon. Yeah. My god. It's hard not to shit on Swablu. It's hard not to shit on Xion. Or just the fact that I'm basically working out of a party of 4 viable Pokemon out of 6. I haven't found a good replacement yet for part 6, and Swablu, we're gonna, I mean, calm-natured and all that stuff, gotta keep him, but what the hell. And realistically, once again, 35 is coming. Level 35 is coming, and when we reach level 35, everything will be better. Everything will be better. So now we switch into Heracles. Now Heracles knows how to take care of business against fire-type Pokemon. Pshaw. Boom, we know what to do. We crunch, we horn attack, we just play around. We play the move pool field. Another crunch, boom. Yeah, sure. Screw ya. And boom. There we go. And nothing. A Pearline though, just like N had. Alright. Once again, I wouldn't mind one realistically, but I was looking at it and stuff, and it's once again, it's only a dark type. We need better typings. We need water, grass. What else do we need? Yeah, we definitely need a water type. We need some resistance to water, because we have very little. We have 0 actual resistance to water type moves. And going forward, we're only going to have things that are super effective against water. It's going to be even worse. We have nothing that I switch in, and it's not very effective yet. Other than eventually, of course, Altaria. But when will that happen? We don't know. So we do defeat Sharon. And when we move on from that, I think we're ready to start off on the gym. Alrighty, it's gym time. Let's go. Hello, Clyde. You're gonna make things easier on us by giving us fresh water, which we will definitely take. Now, I believe I don't realize how this works yet. I'm like, so I get it wrong both times. I'm like, oh, the fire symbol take fire. No, it's the one that beats it, and I'm like, all right, the one that's weak to it. So, third time's a charm. Third time's a charm. Going forward, I know what's going on, but now we have to battle the trainer. I believe you battle the trainer anyways. But it's our first gym. We're excited, you know. And here we go. We're battling a waiter with a Lillipup. Lillipup. And let's go. Neato boy at level 14. You have double kick. You are now ready to one and done a Lillipup. Like it's nobody's business. Nobody's business. And yeah, we had to do a lot of training for this actually. Because like you get here, you do a little bit of a side quest, and boom, well it's the main quest, but you get into it, and boom, you're only like, with these guys, you're only like level 6, 7 at best. You don't even get to level 8. So I had to do a shit ton when I realized, holy crap, isn't the gym leader got like level 12s and 13s or something like that? I'm like, there's no way, even with a good roster like this, there's no way I can win with level 8s against level 14s. I'm sorry, that just ain't happening. And I'm not going to struggle and lose just because I didn't grind up a little bit. So, yeah. So yeah, I made sure I had double kick for these guys, because I know that trainers can give you grief before you reach the gym. And we don't have a whole lot of healing items yet to spare, technically, so it's probably a good thing in the long and short of it, right? So boom, there we go. And in comes Pearline. And another double kick. Dark typing. Sorry, you're out of here. I don't know if it's dark normal. That might have been ×4, but it's definitely dark type, so there you go. And once again the fire, and boom. So we beat the 2 trainers, now we're up to the gym leader. I do like the idea of the rotating gym leader sort of idea. So you end up fighting against your weakness pretty much. It makes it very interesting. I like it. So they introduced on how they actually go about this, but pretty much you end up fighting whatever starter you picked, which is generally your strongest Pokemon by this point. there's almost no way other than hacking and Nuzlocke purposes that you wouldn't have, you know, your strongest Pokemon being your starter at this point. So the fact that they're weak to the typing that they chose works out to me. So we have to fight up against Chili. We fight against Chili. Chili, who has 2 Pokemon, a Lillipup, and of course one of the monkeys. I actually really like Pansage. I like Pansage. As far as if I had to use a monkey, I'd use Pansage. And boom, 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 down goes the Lillipup. And we're level 15, 1 level away from that Neato Boy greatness. And here comes the Panseer. But we're just going to stay in. We're going to take the Incinerate, see how much damage that actually does. And it doesn't do a whole lot. We double kick. And there we go. And apparently burned off our Oranberry or something like that. So we don't actually have it anymore. So Incinerate again goes... It gets us about to 26. Yeah, it's still not even in the yellow. We go for the Poison Sting for an easy poison. But then it doesn't seem to want to grab. And once again, we don't have Poison Point anymore because we have Hustle. Which I forget exactly what that does actually. But anyways. Poison this time. Poison. It's not going to matter in the end. I don't really know why I did that. Because a couple more double kicks, this would have been over. Goes for a potion though, so maybe it wouldn't have been. But then I get the critical hit on the double kick anyway, so wasting my time trying to poison this thing, it was never going to matter. Neato Boy was going to win the gym leader with ease by level 15, so it's no big deal. And boom, there we go. So we end up taking our first gym badge quite handily, quite easily, but I will admit we probably overgrinded a wee bit for this gym. But I didn't want to, after that big loss, you got to remember that I played this almost immediately, like that week, I started this after just losing Sceptile, after losing Dragoon. So I was like, I'm not about to lose somebody else, you know? So I made damn sure that I was prepared and ready, no matter what. And this is where we were battling, obviously, before the next gym and the next rival battle and stuff. We end up learning Dragon Rage with our wonderful Ancalagon the Black, who of course is a dragon, and he is raging to become a Charmeleon. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see this. And then of course we're going to have to pause and edit because I'm too lazy to figure out how to do this properly. I think I know a way to do it, in all honesty, but it's a lot of work, so... And boom, boom, boom. Here comes Charmeleon. And Calagon is officially a Charmeleon. Let's go. Awesome. So there we go. We got ourselves a Charmeleon. And now Sharon shows up. Alright, Sharon. What do you got? Boom, 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 boom. Let's see what my rival's got. Let's see what he can pull off. Can he defeat us? The 2 Pokemon, I really damn doubt it. I really doubt this. So we send out Neato Boy, who is probably just that short little bit away from being a Nidorino. So let's see, quick double kick. Boom. But of course the berry happens, so it's going to take more than just a 2-shotter here. Uses Odor Sleuth, whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter, doesn't do anything. So we're going to go for the Peck. Going to try for the super effectiveness, which once again, I thought was super effective last time with Swablu, so I was too harsh on Swablu there because it sounded like it was super effective, but it clearly wasn't. So, I'm like, because it's not fighting type yet. So, I don't know why in my ears I heard a super effective hit. Maybe I'm just going crazy. And this is where we just continue to, you know what, we're just going to hit it with whatever we can. Keeps using Defense Curl, so we really want to kill this thing before its defense gets a little too high. Granted, we can beat it with other methods if we have to, but And yeah, at this point, because we allowed that other defense curl, we weren't able to kill it with that double kick. Now we just, come on, hit it. There we go. So that definitely got rid of the main problem, and now it's just a Pearl line to deal with. Nidoboy did evolve to level 16, meaning we are about to get a Nidorino. We're going to have to pause again and get some greatness. As I said, it was just working with OBS with all the way I do the graphics and stuff, guys. It's just, this is an easier way for me to do it without doing a bunch of legwork after the fact, you know what I mean? And if I get busy and I forget exactly the method to the madness, then, you know, then it takes twice as long for me to figure out, yeah, I didn't record that. How do I figure that out, you know? So here we go. And boom, boom, boom. Nidorino. Wonderful. And now with Nidorino on our team, we now have 2 evolved Pokemon. Who's going to be next? Will we get a Thunderstone? Will he reach level 36? Before Swablu reaches level 35? Who knows? And will we find another teammate before then? That's the other question. Will we find a better teammate? And it's still a Nuzlocke, so remember, we're not open. Like, I'm open to a lot of suggestions. One thing that I was really considering is that we desperately need a water type, right? 100% we need a water type. But if I could get ourselves a Deerling, man, I love Sawsbuck. I love Sawsbuck. A jump kick, Horn Leech. I don't even need the other 2 moves. I got this, right? I would love to carry a Sawsbuck on to another gen. Sawsbuck is one of my favorite grass types. Just love that elk-looking motherfucker. He's just so cool. All his seasonal versions are cool. The winter coat looks awesome. The summer looks awesome. Autumn looks awesome. Everything looks awesome. Everything's cool. So I definitely, a Sawsbuck would be amazing. But if not, obviously we're going to have to go with any viable water type we come up with, because we have such a weakness here to water. Though we do catch ourselves a lightning zebra. I forget what we call him. Did we call him Loxus? What do we call you? I'm pretty sure we call him Loxus. After Fairy Tale there, yeah. Because I couldn't come up with anything else on the fly, and I'm like, well, right now we have, you know, copper, so there's no reason to use, unfortunately, this guy. Zebstrike is a cool Pokemon and everything. I have no problem with him. I hate the Woobat line. I think Woobat and the Kiss Me sexually assaulting bat, whatever that evolved form is, I think they're grotesque. I think they're awful. This was an attempt to make another Zubat, and it was like, listen, we've already got 1 faceless bat. We did not need a second one. We were good with 1 faceless bat type Pokemon. We did not need Woobat. Another one of those, yeah, no. Gen 5 has a good dex, but there are some misses. Starters and Woobat. 100%. But we do... Oh no, we failed to catch that. Come on. Get it into high gear here. Come on, Copper. You got this. Oh, we're going to go for the Thunder Wave. We're going to try to make this a little easier. I understand that 100%. That makes sense. What are you gonna do? There we go. There we go. With a Thunder Wave Paralysis, we managed to catch the 2nd faceless bat Pokemon. Yeah, never using a Woobat. I will lose the Nuzlocke before I use a damn Woobat. I'm sorry. I know the spirit of a Nuzlocke is to use Pokemon you would not normally use, but I have 0 love for this ugly ass thing. I'm sorry. There are some Pokemon. Listen, there are Kanto Pokemon that I almost... Yeah, no, I will probably use just about every Kanto Pokemon, though I'm really against using Ditto. I don't like using Dittos. And Gen 2 has some flops. Gen 3 too. Like after Kanto, And even Kanto, like, I will admit, there are Pokemon that I'm just like, I guess I'm stuck with, you know what I mean? But there are some Pokemon after Kanto and even into Johto that are just like, no, I'll lose first, you know? And you can blame that on nostalgia if you like. You can, and by the way, we're in the second gym. You can blame that on nostalgia that I will use any... No, there is one. I will use a Tangela, but I don't want to. I don't like Tangela. I've never liked Tangela. Tangrowth is worse, but I've never liked a Tangela. I would never willingly use a Farfetch'd or Tangela. I don't mind their designs necessarily. It's just that, why? Why would I ever want to use one, you know? Tangela and Farfetch'd are two Pokemon that I'm like, yeah, I can live without. I could totally live without them. From the Kanto region, anyway. Ditto included, yeah. And Porygon. I have no desire. I've never used it. I think Porygon is the one Pokemon I have never actually... No, I did use a Porygon once. So I've used every Kanto Pokemon, but I would never willingly use a Porygon. Yeah, I don't care for Porygon, I don't care for Tangela. So there is actually Kanto Pokemon. So yeah, every gen has Pokemon that I'm just like, yeah, in the spirit of a Nuzlocke, 100%, I get it. I will try to utilize Pokemon that I wouldn't normally use. Like a Swablu, like, you know, I don't normally use Swablu, in all honesty. Like, Altaria is fine, but he's not... Like, when I think dragon, I want Bahamut, you know, I want a dragon, I want a real dragon, I want Ankelagon, I want Charizard the dragon, I want Rayquaza, or Rayquaza, whatever. I don't want Altaria, I don't want a Nimbus Cloud, I don't want Dudley the dragon, you know, I want Dragon the dragon, I want Godzilla, so. Which I think, didn't we miss out on an opportunity to get a Larvitar at some point? Or am I thinking another Nuzlocke I ran or something like that? But I think I missed out on an opportunity to get something like that, like a Bagon or a Larvitar or something like that. And it's like, really? Really, I missed out on that? I could have had a Tyranitar. That would have been so cool. So here we are once again in the gym, just battling the trainers and stuff, going through the gym mechanics. This gym leader is incredibly tough, though, however, because she has a Watchog, which is devastating with that stupid TM move. Retaliate or whatever it is. I think it's Retaliate. It just is so broken because you attack the damn thing and then boom. So unless you have a chance to poison it or something like that, you're going to be screwed. You know, you have to survive this thing. It's got high attack power. It's fully evolved. You know, it's a tough-ass customer. And ideally, you send a flying type after it because it's like normal fighting. But look at how our fighting type is currently faring. Being a level higher and still being sent to the cleaners. So we don't really have that as a viable option at this point, right? It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Nothing can really be done about it. We just have to keep going, so we switch into Ankelagon. Let's see. We're going to just go with the Dragon Rage because why not, right? It's an instant 40. It's probably going to... It's likely my strategy going forward. I forget exactly what I do against this Watchog, but I would assume that Dragon Rage, an instant 40 is a better bet than anything else that I'm going to be able to throw at this damn Watchog. So we defeat that particular gym trainer, and I think that's the last gym. Is there one more gym trainer? I feel like there might be. So now we answer another question, of course, because it's the library, it's the museum. You must, you know, gain knowledge and trickery and puzzles to fight a damn Pokemon battle. At the end of the day, you know, like, not that I'm upset at the format, but it's just sort of like, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I tested my knowledge to be able to fight you, but if I was able to beat you regardless, let's say I couldn't figure out this shit. You telling me that, you know, a guy with a level 100 Charizard who just can't figure out... what about an illiterate guy who can't read or some shit? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so he doesn't count. Oh, okay, so this is the final gym trainer right here. Right here, right here, right here. And brings out a Lillipup. Another Lillipup. And we bring out Ancalagon at level 20 here. Quick Dragon Rage of 40. Should be enough to actually, just, yeah. Yeah, there goes the Lillipup. And then comes another one to take its place. Just to be slaughtered once again! And boom. Yeah. There's no way a Lillipup at level 15 has over 40 HP. And one last attack. Because it only has 3, right? She has 3 Lillipups. Yeah. Okay, excellent. So we're level 20. I believe the gym leader's Watchog is level 22? Something like that. Alright, either way. We click the switch. Bookcase finally moves, and we are ready. Gym leader number 2, baby. Let's go. Can we do it? We're still down a Pokemon. We still only have 5 Pokemon. So let's see. Let's truly see what we're into here. And we're ready to go. And the director of the museum is ready to go up against us. 4-time champion, Lenore. Alright, you bring out your wanna be a dog, but is actually more like a hairy cat. We're gonna bring out Nido Boy, level 19 versus 18. The Intimidate, of course, is not great. But we're still gonna go for the double kick for some super effective hits. And it does at least half, even with the Intimidate, so that's good. Goes for the Leer, so we take no damage. This is fantastic. And then we just continue on. Double kick time, right? And it is going to be enough. Boom. Alright, we took down one of our Pokemon at a 2 right out of the gate. Now, we are still intimidated. The Watchog is level 20, so we're roughly around the level cap anyways, what we should be. So I immediately switch out to Heracles. Is Retaliate a normal or a fighting type move? I thought it was fighting, so what am I doing? Alright, goes for the Leer to start off. What's my plan here? Going for a Stomp. Oh, this thing has Hypnosis? Oh, this is gonna suck. This is gonna suck. So I didn't even get a move in, now I gotta switch. Who am I switching to? Ancalagon? Looks like I took my sweet time. And no, we're going back to Nido Boy. Hoping for a second Leer, maybe? But, I mean, Intimidate's gone, so... Okay, went for the Leer. That's alright, because now we have an opportunity to go straight for the double kick. Hypnosis again. What is with the Hypnosis? It's a 30% chance to hit. Or did they change it in black and white? Did they change it? I'm going to look that up after this, because I'm pretty sure I looked it up at the time and maybe it explained. Or does Watchog have some accuracy bullshit? So we switch out to Ancalagon, right? Here comes the Retaliate. We immediately take a Retaliate, so now I'm like, damn it, what are we going to do? I decided to opt for the Dragon Rage to see what can happen. 40 damage, it's good, it's a lot of damage, but it's not enough. We didn't expect it to one-shot, and now we're asleep too. Now I gotta switch. Who do I switch to? Go back to Heracles, I guess. Still asleep. Maybe we wake up, maybe we don't. I don't know. Take the Retaliate. Clearly it's not a fighting type move like I initially thought, so we can actually tank a little bit of this. This thing has Crunch. I had to get an egg move for this, and a level 20 version of this guy has Crunch. Why the hell does a Watchog have Crunch? That'd be like giving a Pidgey, goddamn, I don't know, Sky Attack, you know? It's got the best dark type move in the game at level 20. No egg moves, no bullshit. Like, what the hell is wrong with these gym leaders? No wonder people do Audino training. And here comes another Hypnosis. Just as we're about to actually do something. So. We're going to use it on who? Or we're going to use a Chester Berry on Nido Boy? Nido Boy woke up. Okay, here comes the crunch. It does some damage. But we're still good. Alright. Assuming the thing doesn't, like, it's like the AI knows the moment I switch. Because it's been going for hypnosis on every switch in. Let's see. Will you actually go for something? Went for the crunch. Okay. Perfect. Did some damage, but now we get a double kick in. Nope, the damn thing can fight first. It's faster, but thankfully the retaliate isn't enough. And boom, a double kick manages to finally kill this thing. That was close. That was bloody close. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, we're at around the level cap. We're level 20. The Watchog was level 20. But between retaliate, hypnosis always hitting, and crunch... You know, the only reason I have a level 20 with Crunch is because of the Nuzlocke rules and the reward system. I wouldn't have Crunch until I was in my 40s. What the hell? So, anyways, we do get our second gym badge. Yay. 2 thumbs up for us for not losing anybody. Because that, I've seen a lot of people do, or I've heard anyways, I haven't watched, but I've heard people, this is a gym where people lose Pokemon. And now I can see it. That Watchog is goddamn dangerous. Unless you have like a Machoke or something to go up against this damn thing. Like, unless you have a fighting type that's like, okay, I'm just going to critical hit karate chop you, or I'm going to aura sphere you, or whatever they're going to do. Damn thing's hard. And look at this. Look at the damage we've taken. And okay, Moonstone time. We got ourselves a Moonstone. I forget where. Maybe we did get it from Lenore or somebody like that. But either way, we got a Moonstone nice and early before the 3rd gym. So we are going to get Nido Boy, the shiny Nido King. This early on in the game. In the first video. That's awesome. So that is amazing. We pause that so we can switch out the graphic. And then we will continue. So there we go. We got ourselves Nido King that early on. I mean, that's definitely a bonus. That's definitely a huge boon. And here's where we ran into a Sandile. Because I believe we come to this route first. So we're going to catch ourselves. Now, Crocodile is definitely a fan favorite. He's I always like Crocodile and stuff as a Pokemon. Viable, sure, but we already have both Dark and Ground with Rhyhorn, with Heracles, so there's no reason really to train up Sandile. Like, as a, once again, our 6th Pokemon needs to have some type advantage that we're lacking. Once again, water and grass. Water and grass. That is what we're really striving for here. Hell, at this point, a Psychic type. You know, somebody with Psybeam, Psychic, you know, they can utilize a few moves even, you know what I mean? A Ghost or a Psychic would also work. Something that had a little bit of resistance, you know? Either way, we're still going to catch the Sandile, or attempt to anyways. Because why wouldn't we? You know, there's no reason not to. None that I can think of anyways. But this Sandile is going to prove to be a bit of a struggle, a bit of a bitch, and our usual culprit to winning these type of exchanges is using Thunder Wave, but of course being a ground type, it's not exactly going to work out so well for us, right? So we switch into Heracles, who ends up taking, you know, the sand attack, whatever, and we're just here to lob Pokeballs at this thing, right? So, boom, let's try it again. We got it? There we go. There we go. We got ourselves a Sandile. Now, a female Sandile. A female Crocodile. Female Crocodile. What do we call a female Crocodile? I think I have an idea. Do I go with what I think? I'm going to go with what I think. Please tell me I am. Yes. It's Betty, isn't it? It's Betty? Yep. Lake Placid, people. Betty White fed the monster crocodile. Let's go. Betty the Croc. Let's go. Betty White. Absolutely. 100%. And this is where we went past this town, the crazy city, before doing all the bullshit inside the city. Realistically, we went too far. We caught the Sandile, now we've come back. Granted, once again, the Sandile is still not on our team, so it's kind of irrelevant. Not that there's any rules against a Nuzlocke. You can go wherever you want to. If you can fight a gym in a different order or go to a different route first, you're more than welcome to. But here we're starting off Gym 3. So in one video, we've covered 3 gyms. That's pretty impressive, actually. Granted, we didn't need to do a whole lot. All we did was show the beginning of the game, some evolutions, and battling gym leaders, pretty much. Battling rivals and gym leaders. That's what we've been doing. We haven't caught anything that's super crazy or super like, yes, let's use it. We've caught no Dratinis or Chanseys. How's that? Nobody ready to take the 6th slot to replace Dragoon as just a solid-ass Pokemon. As I said, but like even Venipede, I mean, once again, we already have poison in lieu of Nidoking, so I don't know about grabbing a bug poison, because once again, still not the resistance I'm looking for, still not the move pool I'm looking for. So yeah, but Venipede is definitely a Pokemon that I've liked before and I like using, but really just need to wait until we get to some fishing spots or something like that. Try to find something that can utilize a strong defensive water type would be nice. Something that, or even an attack power, something that can hit really hard with Surf or something, right? So there we go. So we battled that trainer. And once again, boing. And another trainer appears right in front of us. Woo, like it's magic. I don't get the whole idea of these jesters, these harlequins, all of a sudden appearing. Like, this isn't a psychic or a ghost gym, so why are they randomly? It's a bug gym, so why are they all of a sudden like, haha, ta-da, we're magicians, you know? I guess that's sort of what's his name's spiel there. I forget this gym leader's name all of a sudden. Lenore, and it's not Bert. What is his name? I forget. Anyways. So now we're fighting off against these guys, but Dribble is going to give Swablu some definite grief, so we switch out into Heracles to deal with the rock bug type, I believe. Goes for the rock blast and all that fun jazz. Is what it is there. It's not going to do much to us. Somehow Crunch missed. Or no, it didn't miss. We just we go last, don't we? Outsped us? Yeah. Outsped us. At first I was like, whoa, wait, what? How did Crunch miss? But yeah, a couple of crunches will take care of this thing. Just gotta deal with the minor attacks there. Though it ends up doing quite significant chip damage to Rhyhorn by the end of it, so. And Xion did grow to level 22 as a result. Like, once again, we need to get her all the way up to level 35, otherwise there's no point. Swablu is just not viable, and we're carrying her. We've been carrying her for this whole run so far. We carried her pretty heavy on Gen 4 too, but I didn't realize how bad it was really gonna end up being in the end. So we unlocked, okay, boom. We unlocked a couple of different bars there. And let's see. We go in, boing, and that's the switch for the gym leader. Oof. Okay. And here we go. Hit that button. Ding ding. And of course, it doesn't use... Yeah. Alright. So we go here, and then... Boom! Another magician appears. Once again, I believe the gym leader's sort of, even though he's a bug type trainer, he's all into the pick a card, any card. I'm pretty sure that's his sort of shtick. So, alright, now we gotta battle a leaf. We gotta battle a poor leaf. Using Peck should do it. And a string shot, and we're like, yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, I'm sure we got this. And maybe not. Oh, we do. We do in the end. That Peck was enough just to take them. Harlequin wreck. You bastard. So we managed to take him down, and now we definitely have to switch out Swablu at this point. Yeah, we still have Snivellus. We have Snivels with us, named after, of course, the very bullied name that James Potter and Sirius Black called Professor Severus Snape. I thought it worked. And boom. That's not the last button we have to press, but the second last one, because now the gate has been lowered, so now we just have to go back on through, and we're about to face off against the gym leader. 3 gym leaders, no losses in one video. And we're doing pretty good. But I feel like there's going to be more story elements going forward. Ah, I didn't see. We have one more Harlequin to beat. One more Harlequin to beat. Let's do it. I think we got this. I think we'll be all good. And it's a Venipede at level 20. God damn. But we're pulling out the big boys. We have Nidoboy. You can use Protect. You can be a bitch. I don't care. Because once your Protect wears off, boom! Hack. And you can do whatever you want. Lower my defense. Lower my accuracy. Lower my attack. It's not going to matter when I pack that bug down to size. And there we go. Level 22. We got this. Swedaddle. 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 And just shy of one-shotting, by the way. I don't know if that was a low roll or not. We take the Razor Leaf like a champ, and then we peck to end off the 2 level 20s. Nidoboy just proving his worth. Proving his worth. He is the Nidoboy. And funnily enough, has the special attack stat boost as 31 IV. And also on top of that, has Sheer Force. And right now we're totally physical because we don't have the TM capability to make him special attacker yet. Once again, his physical isn't going to suffer. I'm pretty sure his IV is like 12 or 17 or something. It's mid-range. It's not like it's 0 or something. So I think we're all good with that. But here we go. We're up against the gym leader. Gym number 3. Berg. That's it. It's not Bert. It's Berg. Alright, Berg. What do you got? What do you got? Mwahaha. You have a Whirlipede. Alright. Alright. Let's see what you got going on here. We have Nidoboy. What are you going to do when I peck his ass? It's going to take 4 pecks by the looks of it. 3 to 4 at least. So let's just keep going. We have good defensive measures against poison types, so it's all good. Still, critical hits certainly don't help our cause here. And yeah, we're down to the red. We're down to the red. Here comes the pursuit. Of course, we're not resistant to it, but if we move, it's going to hurt. Goes for the Hyper Potion on a Whirlipede. I mean, I guess so. And then we do double pecks. Back down to the yellow. Here comes another pursuit. We're taking some hefty damage here. We're down to 17. I don't know why we're not switching out here. Well, the pursuit is scary. Realistically, I shouldn't switch out. If I switch out at this point, I'm gonna die. Uses a second... First off, when did the second gym leader become so goddamn hard with that Watchog with Crunch? Second off, when did the third gym leader have 2 Hyper Potions in stock ready to go? I mean, at this point, I either have to switch, which I'm going to die, or I got to use an item. So I'm probably going to use up a Soda Pop. Okay, I have a Soda Pop on hand. I don't know where I got it, but I got one. Perfect. Because of the item clause, I must have picked it up somewhere, gotten it from a individual or something. Either way, back up here. Now we can start pecking this guy back to death. Back down to the red. Okay, try it again. Try it again. Are you going to use a third hyper potion? I'm waiting for it. No, only 2, but still. Super potions, before the 5th gym, they should have no more than super potions. 2 at most super potions. A 3rd tier gym leader should not have 2 hyper potions. The only way I could conceive of that is if it was explicitly stated that the 3rd gym leader was a millionaire. And so they bought their way to victory. In that case, I would argue they would have 2 full restores at like Gym 3, right? Because money can buy, right? But that's not the case here. You might be in the biggest city, but that doesn't excuse the fact that a 3rd tier gym leader with level 20s should have hyper potions. God damn. So now we're up against Dwobble. Dwobble. I don't even know how to say this thing's name. I always say Dwobble. Dwibble. Dweeble. Is it Dweeble? Is it Dwobble? Well, there's no O, so it's not really Dwobble. I guess it'd be Dweeb? Dweeble? Dwebble? Anyways. Doesn't matter, we're just going for different moves here at this point. We're taking hits, we're breaking records and taking names. We keep going for a poison sting. I think I'm hoping for a poison here, but it's just not happening, so I don't know why I keep trying. Oh, I'm finally going to use Chip Away. Oh, he's rock type, not ground type though, so it does damage, but not like a crazy amount. And now at this point, it's finally time to switch. We've already used an item in this gym battle, which once again, that's what they're there for, right? I mean, we want to obviously save the big name items for the Elite Four if we get that far, but, you know, you got to switch out when you got to switch out. So we switch out into Heracles, who once again can take a hit, and he can definitely hit a good crunch off here. Struggle Bug shouldn't do 30. No, it only does 9. So even though we switched into a very weakened Heracles, you know, quick crunch is more than enough to take out a Dwebble. And boom, in comes the Bane. The problem Pokemon. The final Pokemon. The Grass type. Now this is where you immediately say, we're going to switch into Caligon. Nah, we're not that fun. We're going to switch into Copper first. See what you can do. Going to use a Razor Leaf. Youch. Okay, never mind. I thought I could do something like a Thunder Wave idea. You know, play something off here. But clearly way too strong, this damn thing. Like, what is it with these gym leaders? They are very tough. Uses Struggle Bug, which only does 4 damage, thankfully. Though our special attack falls, which is really unfortunate. So in lieu of that, I say to myself, do I go for the Ember, which is weaker, or do I go for the Dragon Rage, which is an instant 40, and see what it does? Well, a double 40 is enough. It has less than 80 HP, so, and perfect. Problem solved. We never have an issue. I don't know how much Ember would have done more so. I know it wouldn't have one-shotted, so the Dragon Rage was the correct option. Boom, we beat up on Leader Berg. And we win that particular exchange. Which is really cool, actually. So now we've got 3 gym badges, even though the first 2 were the last 2, the second and third, were quite tough. They were quite tough. Tough? But yeah. Either way, we do end up beating Berg. We get Struggle Bug, and now we've beaten 3 gym leaders. You know, we're doing good. We've evolved our Pokemon and stuff. We are all good. So, that being said, that is the end of that particular part of the run. That's the end of this particular video. It's been over an hour. So, what did you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always. I'm looking forward to, so far we have Charmeleon already, and Caligon's already evolved. Needle Boy's already at full fighting force. We just need some good TMs to utilize that sheer force to its full effectiveness, especially that 31 IV stat and special attack. Copper is still a Pikachu, but doing just fine with Electro Ball and stuff like that. Heracles is still a good tank so far, and Shion, Shion needs a lot of help. Shion needs a lot of help. And we still have yet to find a good replacement for our Dragoon. A good replacement for our 6th slot. We need a 6th slot Pokemon. And I just don't know if I'm ready to pick one yet. I don't think we have the best. I'm waiting for a better pool of Nuzlocke Pokemon to pick from before I make a final decision and spend all the time and investment into that. So, but that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to, as I already said, like, comment, subscribe. And we'll see all you Pokemon trainers, Pokemon breeders, and Pokemon masters alike back here for the second part of the 5th leg of our GenLocke challenge, the Black Nuzlocke challenge. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. See you back here next time. Sayonara.